but I'm crying to you for your love. Yeah. On my knees, I come before you now. Father, please protect my soul somehow. Oh Lord, please forgive me. Oh, have mercy on my soul. God, please take control. 'Cause I need you here beside me all the way. I know I'm not worthy, but I'm crying to you for your love. Yeah. I come before you now. Lord, I may have lost my way somehow. I know I'm not worthy, but I'm crying to you for you.
Thomas native, through music, continues to tell it like it is. Renowned for blending powerful messages with smooth melodies, Stevie Face is not only an international reggae singer, but also a businessman and philanthropist. From creating job opportunities to giving back through his charity initiatives, Stevie Face remains a positive force in St. Thomas. And today we're really excited that he is taking us with him on his journey on the road to success. Stevie Face, good afternoon and welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to make this happen.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, Kishima. It's a great honor. It's a privilege to be on.
Awesome, awesome. No, you don't, everybody by now knows that, you know, you rep St. Thomas and you really go hard when you're representing for your parish. But take us to the early days, your childhood. How would you describe your upbringing growing up in St. Thomas, Jamaica?
Well, as you know, St. Thomas is a rural parish, right? Although it's close to Kingston, it's considered country, don't it? So we're a country boy. We're born and grow a country, you know what I mean? We started out at Yallas Primary School. And before that, I mean, I grew up in the Seventh-day Adventist church out there in Yallas. So the family is really a Christian family. The foundation is really, I mean, as far as I can remember, I was in the church. If it's not prayer practice during the week, is Saturdays we are there for the entire day. So the foundation is somewhat spiritual.
All right. I definitely get that. Would you say you're from a large family, and how would you describe your parents?
Well, I grew up with my great grandmother. My mommy went away at an early age. She went to England, and my father went to Canada at a very tender age. So the most of the upbringing is primarily from the grandparents and grandaunt and cousins. You know what I mean? So from that side of the family, yeah, it's fairly large because I had a lot of cousins and grandaunts and aunties and stuff like that. But no, wouldn't say mother and father. It's the grandmother who really mothered me and fathered me. You know what I mean?
And we know how grandmas are, and that story, of course, is a story that a lot of Jamaicans can relate to. But for you personally, did you miss your mom and dad? Did you yearn for them? What was that relationship like? And do you have a relationship? What's the relationship like now today?
Of course, growing up, I would question a lot of things. Why I didn't have the opportunity to grow with a mother and a father. But after you become a man, you understand the circumstances. So you learn to forgive and to bond. So I have an excellent relationship with my mother and my father right now, and I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to actually know them and to be in their lives, and they are in mine. So I am good. I'm very comfortable mentally now where that is concerned. But growing up, it was challenging because, you know, for example, now grandma kind of old. So for example, when grandma should go to a parent teacher meeting up by Morant High School, you know, your classmates would kill you. So you're not supposed to feel history because if you're a mother old, so you're supposed to know everything in our history, you know what I mean? So we used to get the beating for it, but we learn to appreciate the lessons that grandma teach you and the sacrifices she make to ensure so we grow up the right way.
That seems so. But since we're on Morant Bay High School, talk to us about a moment during your high school years that you would consider a significant moment that actually helped kind of shape or put your life into perspective as a young man.
You know, there's a special teacher up there that was there. She recently retired. Her name is Miss Owens. You know, that lady always took the time out to send some positive messages to me. So I remember one day she said to me that, I know for some reason you're different. I didn't understand what she meant, and she said, always strive to give off your best at all times. And I remember going home that evening and I was wondering to myself what she meant when she said that I was different. I was wondering if it was negative or positive, but for some reason I took the positive out of it. And I think that has helped to mold me and to let me be the person I am today.
Wow. How old were you though, Stevie, when you realized that you actually can sing and you love music?
Early, 6, 7. I used to sing at all the concerts, at church, every opportunity I got, and I always wondered why they wanted me to lead sing. But then I discovered every time I sang, the encore was big. And then when I went to Morant High School now, and all the singing competition and the concert, it was myself and Sean Harrison who always sing at all of the concerts. So, and people always want to see us again and again and again. So I said, wait, look like there's something special here. And then when I was in 4th form, I wrote the song Teach the Children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, and then I sang it one concert, and for a new song that nobody knew, the response was so great. I realized that there was something there.
So talk to us about this transition now, though, because here it is, you know, like you would have outlined for us that you grew up in the church. What was it that drew you to reggae music, and how did grandma react to, no, boy, Stevie, nah, sing the gospel them, no, but, you know, you're more into the reggae type of vibe?
All right. Well, she died when I was at about 17. So, but
Okay,
she
still.
realized that I was transitioning earlier than that because when I used to go to church, I used to question a lot of things, and she herself couldn't answer them. Because for one question, I always ask her, why is it on the quarterly that that little book that they give out in the church? I never see a black family, and I always say, but Grandma, how is it that we don't see any black people being represented in the quarterly? And she always tried her best to reassure me that it's because it was printed overseas why we're not. So I used to ask her if there's any black family in America, because at the time I never really understood what was really happening. So she realized that I was really questioning a lot of things that I was being taught. And you know what she said to me? She said, go and seek and you shall find. She said, it is not my place to impose what I believe on you.
Wow.
So you have to go and seek and you shall find. And she said, the Lord will lead you. And I guess that is when the transition actually started. And I started listening a lot of Jacob Miller, a lot of Dennis Brown, you know what I mean? And then I started clinging to like the teachings of Marcus Garvey. And I just transitioned from the quote unquote, the norm. And at a 16, 15-year-old would be looking at, I was looking elsewhere because I wanted to know. I was searching for my own identity because remember now, there was no mother and there was no father figure to help mold the mind, you know what I mean? So I was doing that myself, Grandma taught me all she could, but I started on a different journey. I wanted to know. I started to look into my blackness and because I used to question if I was made in the likeness and the image of my father. Why is it that the picture that they give me is different from me? So I started questioning a lot of things. I mean, it never sit well with me. I always question a lot of things in a church.
No, I definitely get that for sure. But did you have any mentors, or it was just you on your own, just searching and trying to find answers? Did you have any sort of guidance during those crucial moments?
No, not really, because at the time everybody in the family is a Christian. Is a Christian home. So when I would propose some questions, nobody could really. And they were wondering what was happening with me. They actually started questioning me. What is going on? Why are you questioning these things? Why are you so interested in blackness and self? You know what I mean? They were puzzled. But as Grandma told me that I had to find my way, and I kept searching and digging. And I always wanted to, when I said to them, simple questions like, why is it that we don't strive to do more for others and for the poor? And, when I ask some questions, and I used to ask even the pastor at church, why is it that we don't try to help the poor and the elderly in the church? And nobody could answer. Nobody could.
Wow. So Stevie Face, well conscious from a young man, teenager, and that sort of thing from early out. So in your pursuit to ultimately find yourself and go look towards the music, give us your story as it relates to trying to get a foot into the entertainment industry. What was that like for you?
It wasn't very difficult. While I was going to Morant Bay High School, I used to leave Morant Bay and then I'll take a bus to Arrows Recording on Windwater Road, where they normally dub plate for sound system. And that is where I started interacting with the greats, the Greg Isaacs, the Dennis Brown, all the artists that would come through at the time. Young Bounty Killer, Young Terror Fabulous, all of us were young there. Monster Shock Crew, Ghosts, Bushman from St. Thomas, Judas, all the young artists. That is where most of them got started. So I was among, even though I was in my school clothes, I remember being in my school clothes and I saw Spragga Benz. With that, Spragga just got his first big song. And I was just there looking, in awe, But it wasn't difficult. So after leaving Morant Bay High School, I came back to Arrows, and then I started interacting with Mikey Bennett at Grafton. And that's where I recorded Teacher Children. round by Grafton for a producer, Vasco Carney. And then after that introduction, you know, Mikey Bennett is a stalwart in the business. And Mikey also helped me with teach me how to write and always tell me that the punchline, the hook is very important. So I was learning from the best. And around Mikey Bennett, there was Dean Fraser, there was all the big producers and musicians that you could think of. So after Teach the Children, I started getting exposure. Then I was going between Mikey Bennett and Arrows. Arrows came with a fire call rhythm. And then I come with I'm in Love, and that was the first #1 song for me.
Wow. Was it an easy transition for you from Teach the Children to a smoother sound for your females? And what actually prompted this musical direction?
It came naturally. It wasn't really a transition. It was more like how I felt at the time, because at the time I was really in love. That's how I wrote that song. So it was an expression of the moment.
No, we're not going to go so quickly from Arrows, because, you know, like in 2001, you know, you linked up with Arrows Recording. And I think that this is a very defining period on your journey. Talk a little bit about how the connection, because sometimes we hear the stories, you know, having to stand out the gate. You did also say that it wasn't as hard for you because of your talent, I presume. But talk about that connection and some of what that experience did for you in the early years.
Well, you have to pay your dues, right? So the access to Arrows initially wasn't easy. You know, you're in your school clothes and thing, the security wouldn't just let you in like that. But of course, again, Miss Rose and Miss Linton, they're family. Rest in peace, Miss Linton, like family to me. Mr. Linton took me up under his arm and thought that I had something to offer the business. And even with conversations that I would have with him outside of the music, he always found it to be very interesting. So sometimes he would just call me in the office and we just converse, you know what I mean? I'm saying, you're a young boy, your thought process was different. So the transition was any opportunity that would have come to Arrows would have gone my way, because of course Miss Rose at the time, Mr. Linton would have looked out for me. But in the early days, lockout same way out there, rain wet, your sun come and dry your back and you have to hitch a bus, and sometimes you boom a ride go back to St. Thomas because you don't have a vehicle. So the process is basically for most artists the same. I remember one night I come down to Anchor Recording trying to voice an Exterminator, and studio time finish and go see decide them they're going to lock the studio. So me and a friend of mine, we had to sleep in the bus shed just outside of Anchor Recording until morning. So the struggles is basically the same.
And all those sacrifices and determination and ultimately your talents. The following year, 2002, you were an opening act for Sizzla on tour covering the US and Canada. How would you describe this experience being on the road with Sizzla, and did it open doors for you internationally and locally?
Sizzla is one of the greatest reggae artists. He's an icon, you know what I mean? So getting out there in Sizzla in the prime of his career, words can't express. You'd have learned so much. You would have the experiences. I mean, it was new. It was foreign to you. Then you're coming to America for the first time, landing in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, how do you describe that now? Because the world is now in front of you. You know what I mean? So that experience was an eye opener, and Sizzla was more experienced than I am, so I sat there and I learned diligently. I never took my eyes off him, how he conducted himself and his level of professionalism, you know. So I learned a lot on that journey.
But in the heights of this greatness, Stevie Face, while on tour, you were involved in a serious car accident in Florida. How did this challenging period impact your career?
It was painful. We came to do the show in West Palm Beach. We were going to do the sound check. The vehicle came for us at the hotel. On our way to the venue for the sound check, a cab ran the red light and hit our vehicle and it overturned. So it was myself and Mr. Easy and some Gary Chucks, the selector, and a few others. I sustained injuries to my back. Some doctors were saying that they don't think I'll be able to perform again because herniated disc and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
But with the presence of the Most High and with His blessing, I am here. I am recovered. I have recovered and I'm in good health. So nothing to complain about. And I mean, it's a part of the journey, and we learn from that also because when you were down and out, you realize the people who are there for you, and it reminded me how important family is and people who really loves you and stood up with you during trying times.
And, you know, like a lot of persons on our journey or respective journey, you know, we experience dark moments and, you know, down moments, and ultimately the fittest of the fittest, you know, will survive. Did you ever during that period, like, doubted yourself in terms of making a full comeback and doing this music that you love? Was there ever a moment when things just seemed absolutely dim?
I've never had that. I always try to look at the positive in all I do, and everything for me is a learning experience. And you know, there's a quiet, a humble little Rasta man in St. Thomas. His name is Ital. I have learned so much from Ital because at the time I was Ital is like a father to me up to this very day. In his own way, he would have tried to impart any little chance he gets. He would have tried to impart his knowledge. You know what I mean? And he has taught me humility in every sense of the word. So along the way, I have met people came in my life to help mold and to motivate and to encourage and to, you know, I tell is a reminder that we can do all things as long as we believe. You know, so a man thinketh, so is he. So I have these positive people around me. So at no point in time I ever felt like there was no hope or it can't be done. I was just patiently waiting on the Almighty and His time, because I know, if I know and I believe that you are here for a reason, there's no power on earth that can stop you.
Awesomeness. No, it is no wonder that, you know, some 3 or so years later, 2006, you know, you hit the music scene again. Describe for us what this was like, and did it feel to you like you were starting over? Was it a struggle picking up where you left off?
All right. When I broke and I came back, the first song I sing, "If You Want," beep, 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 beep. I mean, that's the first song I came back with and it hit. So again, it showed me that I am here for a reason. I have a purpose on earth, and I'm just here to fulfill that purpose. Because there's no way you can break for 5-6 years, and as you come back and open your mouth, you find a next #1 song. That is not normal. So we just give thanks to the Almighty and just know that, look, and then that is a collaboration at the time with Computer Paul, one of the greatest musicians in Jamaica. So when I came to Paul and said, look, I want to sing one of this song is my grandmother's favorite. I want to sing this song. I remember the Sunday Paul went into the studio with myself, and bam, and it was a one take, one down. And Paul said, Steve, this song is going to hit. And so said, so done. So when while we were there and the song took off and we started going on the road now, going to England and so forth, we wanted another song because you can't tour on one song. Paul had made the rhythm for George Nooks, and George Nooks came and demoed In the Living Years, but did not record it. So Paul said to me, say, look, you are going to sing In the Living Years. And when I sang it, took off again.
Look, those are if those are not signs and to show you that your journey, your path is divinely orchestrated, I don't know what is. But let's talk about this big song though. Tell it like it is, a monumental success. Was this the game changer in your career on your road to success?
It played a significant role because I still believe the best is yet to come. I don't think the game has changed as yet. Um, I don't think I find that monster song as yet. It's a part. It has played an integral role in the development and on the path to greatness. So I am eternally grateful to Computer Paul and to the team who believed in the process and stayed with me. And you know what I mean, words can't express. And I mean it because I've tell it like it is. A lot of people in the world got introduced to my style of music and to Steve.
No, absolutely. And I was saying to the listeners earlier, like before the conversation started, like I literally took a deep dive into your creative process, like your work. And I realized that, with basically all your music, you have a knack for evoking this vibe in people where you want to sing along because it's just so catchy and easy to sing along. I know you spoke about Mikey Bennett and him teaching you how to write songs, but what can you share, especially with the younger generation, as it relates to the key factors of songwriting and how you do that? Like,
I think you have to stay tuned to your emotions, I was born in February, so I born February 12th. So you can understand why I always sing so much love songs, so many love songs, why I
close to
write so many love
Valentine's
songs.
Day.
Yeah. I don't I guess it's that time at that time of the year where them say love is in the air. But I always say try and tap into your emotions. If you feel joyful, write a joyful song. If you're having challenges, try write a song to motivate you. Because sometimes when you're in tune to your emotions, it will bring the best out. I tend to find that if I'm in love, it is so easy for me to express how I feel, you know. And because I always maintain a positive outlook, most of the songs you'll get from me will be somewhat the positive. And I love women and I embrace and I glorify women. So I tend to sing a lot about them, and I always try to sing to remind people of the important role a woman plays in life itself and in reproduction and in creation. So I always try to glorify them in every chance and in every way possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, here it is again in the heights of the Tell It Like It Is album. It's a big song. You got several songs from the album that were really great. And at this point, you took another break from the music at a pivotal point in your career. Why?
I must tell Kishima I didn't feel fulfilled. It was good, but it wasn't fulfilling. I kept searching. I mean, like there was more to me and more to life. When I go back to St. Thomas, the amount of people would come to me asking me for help. And I realized that I can't give everybody. How could I change lives? How could I be more of an example? How could I represent my people and help them in every way possible? Because they are looking up to me, as at the time it was only Bushman and me out of St. Thomas who got a run. That was before, like, you know what I mean? And then Taros came along to,
And support.
of course. And then Papi, you know what I mean? So people start look to Steve now and say, yo, what you can do for we? So me I say, boy, what can I do? So you know what I did? Started opening businesses. So I opened advanced alignment. Then I started importing tires from China. So at the time I was employing about 10 or 12 people. Then I realized that the spin-off when I employ 12 people is 12 families. And suppose a family says 5. Just do the maths, realize, whoa, a whole heap of life. We start impact. Then opportunity come and we get the gas station down by Albion and we have advanced service station. So it moved from advanced alignment, then we go advanced service station. And we take on another 50 odd people. And I say, what? Then the opportunity come again and we see a gas station in St. Mary selling up at Highgate. Went up to Highgate, we bought the gas station and we take on another 20 people. And then the journey just kept on growing and growing and growing. You know what I mean? And I realized how impactful it started. It felt good, you know what I mean? Like purposeful, because I was truly now changing lives and helping as much as I possibly can.
Wow, that is amazing. And you know, for you to be in the spotlight, like living the star life, like touring and traveling and feeling that greatness, but still within yourself felt like something was not right, like you wanted to do more, like that in itself is absolutely commendable. So big up again to your grandma who set some serious foundation there. So
Yeah, and she always tell me, I must try to own the plantation and don't work on it. And she was a teacher all her life. She was one of the first graduates of Michael Teachers College. She was an educator her entire life. Most of my family were educators. My aunt and grandaunt, vice principal for Yalas Primary School. My brother teached at several schools. Now he's the Postmaster General of Jamaica. So the foundation was really from an educational perspective. Most of the family were well educated. My cousin, who we grew up in the same house, was one of the time very big at customs. So you know what I mean. And then he moved on to the U.S. Embassy. Now he's retired. So the foundation, I would say, I'm the least educated one in my family because they believe strongly in education. So, but grandma always say I must find my path. And I found my path and my niche, doing what
on
I'm
that
doing.
on that note, Stevie Face, we too have to find our own path to
Yeah.
Cashpot. Stick and stay, don't go anywhere.
Oxymaster make everything cleaner.
The time by Oxymaster the Stain Blaster is...
It is now 12:59. We are standing by. Listen up, your top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and Cashpot lunchtime draws up next. Cashpot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in Hot Pick and Cashpot special pot draws. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are on the road to success and we're journeying with none other than Stevie Face. Now, Stevie Face, before we went to the Cashpot break, you were in the process of talking about your grandma's foundation and your family being a family of mainly educators. I leave you to finish that point because I really had to cut you off for Cashpot.
No problem, no problem. As I'm saying, primarily the family is somewhat educated. Most of them are educators or who have gone on to the degrees and masters and so forth like that. But I was the one who chose to take a different route. You know what I mean? After leaving Martby High School with 5 6s, I didn't feel like that I wanted to do anything else as relates to education. I had my own path, you know. I wanted to pursue this music so bad. I just felt like there was more, and how I can really touch lives is the way in which I wanted to do it was through the music. And when I started tasting the joy and the niceness of the music, I couldn't choose nothing else. No, nothing else. Nothing else.
So before we get into your entrepreneurial endeavors and talk about Stevie Face, the businessman, you did talk about the conflict within you, you know, having a really big song, touring and everything, but still felt incomplete because you wanted to do more in terms of service and giving back in a meaningful way. But though you took time out and you build up those businesses in, you know, different sections across Jamaica and mainly in St. Thomas and providing job opportunities, ultimately you went back to the music and this time you returned with My Prayer, another powerful song that sparked rumors among some persons that, oh, Stevie Face is going gospel. What's the significance of this song?
At the time, I tell you, Kishima, right, as how I feel. It was more a spiritual song than a gospel song. I don't know. I just asked the Father, like, look, I say, I come before you know. You know what I mean? I may have lost my way somehow, but I am crying to you for your love. I was just saying, well, Father, if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm asking you to open my eyes, and because I'm coming before you humbly as your servant, and just show me the right way, show me the things to do, you know. Because even with my children, I sometimes, because I have done so much in my life, I have lost precious time with them too. And it's sometimes I feel I have to explain to them that is a sacrifice that I have to make to ensure that I do what is, that I just have to do what I have to do. But success don't come without sacrifices. And trust me, I have sacrificed a lot to ensure that I try to live an exemplary life and leave a legacy behind.
Which brings me to two questions that I want to ask you. But first, you know, in the beginning of the conversation, you know, you mentioned that your mom and dad, like, you know, they weren't around because they wanted to create better opportunities for you. Know that you are in a similar situation where you say you talk to your children. Do you talk to them because you're also cognizant of the fact that, you know, the impact that had on you not having your mom and dad around because of them trying to create a better opportunity? Ultimately, you know, like you also said, like success is sacrificing. But how much is too much, and it's still a delicate balance? Is that something that you are conscious of and are concerned about?
I live for my children, but sometimes we as fathers, we don't try to have a conversation with them for them to understand the journey and understand what you're about. So I try to bridge that gap because I did not have. I remember I'm a living example of what it feels like not to have a mother and a father. So I ensure, and my children have a great mother. And then as a father now, I have to do the other aspect of the thing. So I try to balance as best as possible. So every chance I get, I am there with them, or they are in Jamaica with me, and I go to Florida to them. And, you know what I mean? And we try to spend precious time together, special moments. You know, because at the end of the day, when we get to a certain age, that's all we are going to have, the memories and the moments, because they are going to grow big and they are going to start their own family. So I must be an example to them, you know what I mean? So they can be equipped to raise their children, so my grandchildren and my next generation will have a better life.
And which leads me to my next question now, because as a successful entrepreneur and philanthropist, how important is the concept of generational wealth to you?
Everything. Everything. My children must not start where I started. So therefore, I'm trying to leave a legacy for them to build on. So the next generations will be greater than the one before. And the cycle will continue. So it is important. I implore this because 2 sons and I have an adopted daughter. I sing the same song to all of them, that I am standing up on the backs of others who created the opportunity for me, whether family, friend, or anyone else. It is not done by me alone. I am standing on the back of others. So therefore, I am creating now a platform, a foundation in which you guys can stand on to continue this journey. So they have to understand that you can't waste. Unfortunately, I didn't go to university, but I'm ensuring that they are going. Yeah. So the added foundation, the added value, the added network, the added education should be even more instrumental in and helpful in continuing the journey that I started.
Do you as part of, because part of the whole generational wealth too, you know, like you're building these different businesses, these different entities, and if your next generation is not a part of it, chances are, you know, when if anything should happen, they may find it necessary to sell off the business or whatever the case is. Do you get them involved and help them to understand what the process is?
Early. They are building with me right now.
Yes.
I have conversations with them. My big son is a director. You understand me? That is the direction that we take. Kishima, let me tell you, we have to learn from things around us. For example, the Chinaman, them in Jamaica, when me I grew up, them alone own all of the food entity them. Them alone, and what them do, them raise them, pick them in the business. Them children I collect the money. So what them teach them children from an early age how to make money. But even with the educational system in Jamaica and anywhere around the world, them don't teach you how to make money. You know what them teach you? Go get educated and come work for me.
Which is why I was very happy
them
that
teach you to be a servant.
Yes. I was very happy that you shared that your grandmother told you, you know, like you can own the plantation. You know, in other words, like, you know, you don't have to be a worker bee. And I think even in how the school system is set up, like a factory, you know, it is kind of in our brains and in our minds. So I'm happy that you took the conversation there, because a lot of people will talk about generational wealth and them creating better opportunities for their children, not integrating their children into what they are building, so they can understand that this is the legacy that you're putting out there, so they too can be a part of it. And their children's children.
Growing up Kishima, this is what I see. And that's why I tell you, when I was in third form, I was questioning a lot of things. Look, the brightest among us would go to the high school, and the one them where them say not so bright, them go secondary, or them go the what them call trade school then, right? All right. So the brightest among us now, you move on to university, and then them groom you and train you to be employees. So you are now from university, you have to now go find a job for go work. So the cycle continues. So there's no look, and then you work, you retire, then you die. Look here, I never subscribed to that. That textbook was not written for me.
Which also we have to come to the realization that you have different types of intelligence and smarts, and going to school is just like, okay, you get the grades, you get a star, you get the congratulations because you are good at swatting and reciting, repeating information, as opposed to developing your cognitive abilities and that kind of thing. So it's full time we come to that realization.
For sure. And us as black people, me implore them, the youth them, the man them will come across money, start build to create wealth for generations to come. Start do things will make sense, meaningful investment. Don't just take 25 and 30 million and go buy a vehicle. And then 5 years time, you can't throw gas in it, or 3 years time, the vehicle don't value $10 million. And I talk to my fellow artists, them, look, we do things and we come across wealth. The first money you get, don't go buy a big house, bro. It's one bedroom you can sleep in at a time. Find investment that can sustain you for the rest of your life.
No, absolutely. Look, I think you've said it. That was my follow-up question. If you had anything to say to your fellow entertainers, because ever so often we hear the horror stories, and through social media, you know, it has shrunk the world in a big way, where you can see, for example, a Rihanna diversifying her portfolio, a Stevie Face, you know, like just people going into different areas, like not just depending solely on music, because, you know, you never can tell, like how much longer will you be able to tour and perform and do that kind of thing. So that's some really great advice right there, Stevie.
But Kish, look, you are here healthy today, and tomorrow about a illness take you. And the journey ends there, because your career ends there. What is there beyond the music? What you know, Bob Marley said, I was watching a thing with Bob, because every time I mean, people always say when Bob reason, them not understand, but because you know, listen. A man asked Bob if him rich, and Bob said, what is riches?
Money make you rich.
I mean, money can make you rich.
Yeah, I've seen it.
In family for the people, and riches are the people, riches are the people. But guess what? Bob Marley was saying that empower the people around you, create. So therefore, there is something when you, if I create a movement, Kishima, that where you see I have everybody working and can sustain themselves. You know how powerful I become? A good friend of mine, Miss Russell, always say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And I always look, and one day I ask her, define. And she explained to me, if you're the only one who has foresight in the surroundings that you have, you are the king, because you're the only one who literally can see. No, I don't want to be the only one who can see in my surrounding. I want to empower as much people as I possibly can to ensure that I am not the man who everybody has to come to for a bread. No, but you can make your own bread, find your own bread. Look, if every artist decide, say, I mean, the amount of money we're making on music, we can do a lot of things. If we really decide, so we're going to do it. Open up, find a piece of land and build a supermarket, or find a piece of land and build a business. Bottle water, do something. You'll be surprised to see the amount of employment, wealth generated. The spin-off would be tremendous because we have the ability and we have the resources.
Absolutely. So Stevie Face, I know recently you also had a free health fair in the parish. Talk to us. Was this talk to us about the success of this event and the feedback that you're getting from the community being able to provide them with this opportunity for a free health care, at least for a day.
It was tremendous. I must say thanks again to Help Jamaica Mission from out of New Jersey. And the liaison person in Jamaica is Miss Russell. She was instrumental in me getting it because I was working on it for many years. Because St. Thomas, as you know, they call it the neglected, the forgetted, the parish where everybody forget about, the forgotten parish. So it was really a beautiful thing that I could have brought this to them. When Kishima, when you look, you see 2,000 people come out. Over 2,000. They get free medication for the various ailments that they have. A lot of them come for the free eyeglasses. Them check them eye and them get free glass. For the entire day, I was able to feed them. They got breakfast, they got lunch. Refreshments were there thanks to a lot of the sponsors who came on board. And look, it was heartwarming. It was, I don't know how to explain, but just to see people being helped is just wonderful.
Rewarding.
It's just wonderful, just wonderful.
With all that you do for the parish, I can just imagine like the love, the respect, and how people in St. Thomas in particular who, you know, like are reaping the direct benefits from the goodness that you are doing for the parish. Do you, Stevie Face, have any political aspirations?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. You don't need politics to serve the people. You don't need politics to do good. Goodness come from the heart, it don't come from politics. Politics is just a part of the process. You need a leader in your country and you have two parties and them just do what them do. You know what I mean? That don't have nothing to do with me. But I have no political aspirations whatsoever. I am for the people, I don't care about politics. The member of parliament and I are very good friends. The councillors and I are very good friends. Opposition, me everybody all right. I don't care about that. Anybody working in the best interest of the people, me and them good.
What keeps Stevie Face grounded?
Humble beginnings. The spiritual side of me, I am a praying youth, you know, as a youth where tap into the God within, you know. I reach out to the Creator every day of my life. I am grateful. I show gratitude every day. I am grateful for even this very interview that I am on right now. I am eternally grateful. Everything that happens to me is a blessing. So nothing, look here, not forgive me nothing, you know. Me not entitled to nothing, you know, Kishima. So everything when me get, you know, is just a blessing to me. I mean, I have met some good people along the way, along the journey. I'm grateful. One of the greatest inspiration. Big A, I'm a friend from IRFM. Big A believing in me from ground zero.
Wow.
You know what I mean? When enough people never believe, say Steve could have bust. Big A believe. And when Big A call it, say a song of a bust, it bust it true. You know what I mean? You have a lot of people who really play them role in my life. So I have no reason to be hype. I have nothing to be boastful about. I am more thankful more than anything else. All right, let me tell you. Oh, I can't turn my back on St. Thomas. The first year, I'm going to perform and sing. Them come to me and say, look, that time teach your children hot. Tell it like it is, hot. Them say, look, we need some busing on. It's about 4 coastal load from St. Thomas Head to Sting. Some people not even like town, but then decide so them I come support them singer.
Oh,
How can I not love my people? How can I not be of service to them? They have created who I am.
Look, I get you 100%. I'm big on service, big on gratitude. I get you, understand, and you know, it's so interesting. It's like when we had that interview on the e-buzz, and then, you know, like just in my spirit, I knew that you needed a longer interview. And I kind of hinted to you that I definitely want you for Road to Success, because I wanted people to hear your story. And even your journey for me was still an eye-opener, because I learned a lot about Stevie Face that I didn't know before. Like, it's almost like the man behind the music. But,
we give that.
Yeah, man. Let's talk a little bit more about the music now in terms of new projects. Here it is. You have Sweet You. Another track again, people just hear it and them just find themselves singing it, because that's what is happening to me. You know, it's very catchy. Talk to us about this song in particular and any new projects that we can look out for.
Well, Sweet You, I did it for Tad's Records. I'm have to big up Tad's again. Out there in St. Thomas doing some business and thing, and Tad's called me. No, I just came back from England, right? I went on to England to do a show, and I came back. And like the following day, Tad's called me, hey Steve, I have a new project and I really want you to work on it. And he sent me the rhythm and I wrote this song. I sent the vocals to Florida, to Fiona, and I told her to put the background on it for me. Then I sent it to Tad's, and Tad said, wow, sounds really good. I love it. And this thing sound like it can do something. And then again, remember, Kishima, I didn't do any song for a good length of time. And come back again, one more, Sweet You, it again. So it shows that when the music in your blood, man, no time, it is timeless. You know what I mean? So when people say, boy, the minute you break, you can't come back with no song, no go so man. I come back with Sweet You again, Big A call it again, and it's gone. You know, we are currently working on an album now. Mikey Bennett and I working on a project. We're going right back to the roots, to the foundation. So we're working on an album, and we are very excited. I mean, beautiful songs coming, man. Mikey writing some fabulous songs. I am writing. You know what I mean? So it's just wonderful. It's going to be good reggae music. Good, clean, beautiful reggae music. I'm really excited about it.
Do you have a title for the project yet, or not yet? No, or how many tracks?
No title at all. No title. Just working on 12 beautiful songs.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, let's talk about Stevie Face, the family man, wife, children. I know initially you mentioned your 2 sons, your stepdaughter. You know, how would you describe Stevie Face, the family man? Because, you know, you have a whole heap of things doing. Stevie Face, the producer, the entrepreneur, the artist. We know tours and all these things. And you have employees that you have to oversee and businesses.
Right. Life is a balance. Life is a balance. I mean, I live for my children. My children know that. All 3 of them in university, I have to ensure that they are educated. I don't know how to, they know that their father is there for them at any given time. I play an integral role in their lives. Anytime there are any problems, they call on their daddy is always there, whether it is advice, financially or otherwise. I am there, and because they know that I live for them, they are very confident. As it speak right now, as we speak, my adopted daughter, she's coming from Dubai. She went to the University of West Indies to do a presentation in Dubai, so she's on her way back now. My 2 sons in Florida, they are at university. So as I said to you, family is everything to me personally. So I there's no question, it comes first in my life. and then everything else after. You know what I mean?
Okay. Who takes care of Stevie Face though? Like, because all of us at some point, you must have like a down moment. Like, what's that like for you? Where do you get your recharge?
Um, Kishima, there's no down moment in my life. It doesn't matter the struggles that perceived struggles that is there means absolutely nothing, because guess what? That too shall pass. So there's no downtime. There are more times where I am more joyful than anything else. People will tell you when you're around me, I just get up and talk foolishness and we all laugh straight 24 hours a day. Even my sons, they say, Dad, you're crazy. Why? I am so happy. Like yesterday, I took my sons, we went to the zoo. Look, next year I'm 50. I was at the zoo
Wow.
feeding camels, and we're looking at lions and just my sons. Look, these are the moments that I treasure. I don't care. I say, yo, come, we're going to the zoo, and them come already, we're gone. You know what I mean? You see, I create my memories. I do simple things. Just like they said to me that, look, they're big men, 21, 18, they want to go to Disney World. I say, all right, I am going to go to Disney World with them. And I'm going to go on the rides and scream and bawl and, you know what I mean? But guess what? These are moments that they will never forget.
No,
And I won't
absolutely.
forget.
No, indeed. And it's you being intentional. And finally, Stevie Face, what advice would you give to upcoming entertainers who are listening to this interview right now? They are on their road to success and it's not smooth.
Show you all things are possible, Kishima. I mean, life itself won't be smooth, but it's how you interpret the obstacles that are in your way. How do you approach the challenges that come? But if you have a positive outlook on life and a positive outlook on everything, nothing will seem challenging to you, because the Almighty will create a way for you. You know what I mean? So you're going to have times where you feel like you're doubting yourself. But remember, the Almighty is there for you. So if He's there and you stay positive and believe in yourself and believe in your dream, there's no power on earth that can stop you. Look, I am coming from nothing. And I don't think that I am nowhere close to where I want to be. You know what I mean? But I just know that in everything in the Almighty time. You know what I mean? So I said to all of the artists, them, look, believe in yourself and believe in your dream and stay focused and stay positive. And if I eat your want, you fight for that, it is yours.
Stevie Face, thank you so much. This was absolutely amazing. And the messages are coming in for you. This one says, whoa, boy, Kish, every week, year after year, the interviews just get better and better. Just when I thought last week's interview was fabulous, here comes another intriguing one with the man with the caramel chocolate voice. Hashtag Stevie Face. And that one is coming in from Miriam in Old Harbor. And this one says, good afternoon, Kish. What a present for my birthday. My favorite artist. Nice interview. I love it. And that is coming from Yellow in Claremont. And this one says, it's from Martha the Barber in Augustown. He said, great interview, Kishima. This interview really sweet. The listeners, a long time, Stevie Face doing it. Nice, clean, pure music. Keep doing it, Stevie Face. Big up yourself. And he also says, big up to my friend Bobby from Roof Again on his birthday. Messages are coming through for Stevie Face. This one says, bless up, Kish. Bless up yourself, Queen Kish. I want to take time out to bless up Stevie Face. He's a wonderful soul. He created jobs for the young people them in St. Thomas, and his music is also sweet. Stay blessed. It's coming from Blooming, and she dropped a rose, Blooming Rose. Stevie Face, this was amazing. Thank you again, and continue to be great. Continue on your journey. And I see that you are so connected with your energy and yourself and you. And if it not feel right, you're not gonna do it. And a lot of us need to get to that space.
Give thanks, Kishima. And I must say thank you so much for having me and to giving me the platform to tell the youth them, say, look, Love and joy above all things, man, and all things are possible, man.
All right. Thank you so much.
Blessing, blessing.
Me said I love in your sweet, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Interview sweet me. It was indeed a fabulous conversation with Stevie Face. Messages are coming through same way. This one's a big up to Stevie Face. I love the interview and continue to keep up the good work. I want to big up OG. All right, big up yourself.
And why the hell you like this boy from downtown? Cause it's sweet, yeah. You say you can't get enough cause it's sweet, yeah. I believe you. Talk all they wanna talk, the rest of man has got your heart.
On YouTube, Cassandra Powell says this interview makes me have a deeper respect for Stevie Face. Blessings every time. And Selector Princess is fully active. She said, look here, even IRFM covered the health fair. It was awesome. And you know, a whole heap of messages on YouTube, on WhatsApp, but stick and stay. See you on the flip side of this break.
Come and enjoy your Wendy's Dave's Classic, our signature square burger, served hot off the grill with the best ingredients.
The time is...
It is now 1:36.
Big up Magnum Tonic Wine, 25 years strong, champion in dancehall. From the stage show to the street dance, a Magnum run all. Bring the artists from the streets to the world and turn them in a star.